U.S. President Donald Trump will allow foreign shipbuilders to build 2 U.S. Navy warships overseas, provided they invest in U.S. shipyards. South Korean shipbuilders could potentially benefit from the move, with Hanwha, which acquired Philly Shipyard in Philadelphia, well positioned to qualify. As the southern part of South Korea struggles with a prolonged drought, a nationwide fire mobilization order has been extended indefinitely to help supply water across the region. The critical 72-hour rescue window has passed following Monday's devastating earthquake in Colombia. Search teams are still looking for survivors trapped beneath collapsed buildings, but limited access to isolated areas is hampering rescue efforts. Hello and thanks for joining us on Arirang News. U.S. President Donald Trump has allowed foreign shipbuilders to build 2 U.S. warships overseas, provided they invest in U.S. shipyards. According to a White House memorandum on Thursday, foreign shipbuilders that make substantial and durable investments in U.S. shipyards and train an American workforce will be temporarily permitted to build up to 2 ships in their home countries. Trump added that all ships after the first 2 must be built in United States shipyards. Korean shipbuilder Hanwha, which acquired Philly Shipyard in Philadelphia, is well positioned to qualify. And U.S. President Donald Trump has also signed a proclamation imposing tariffs of up to 100% on drones and some of their components. The White House announced on Thursday that this measure comes as unmanned aircraft systems are considered crucial to U.S. national and economic security. A 100% tariff will apply to drones weighing more than 25 kilograms at maximum takeoff, as well as those equipped with thermal imaging capabilities. Smaller drones without those sensitive features will face a 25% tariff. Drones and components from Korea, as well as other countries including the European Union, Japan, and Switzerland, will face a lower tariff of 15%, while the UK will face 10% tariffs. The 100% tariffs will take effect on September 3rd, while the 25% tariffs will begin next February. The move is widely seen as a countermeasure against China, which holds a dominant position in the global drone market. And here in South Korea, areas in the southeast of the country are under an agricultural drought alert, with much of the region's farmland affected. A national fire mobilization order has been extended, and officials are hoping that the rain over the weekend could help alleviate the situation. Our An Sung-jin reports.
Water gushes from a military truck into a dry irrigation ditch. The stream quickly flows toward a parched rice field, bringing much-needed water to crops. Gyeongsangnam-do province in the southeast of the country is struggling under prolonged drought. In Hamangum County, near the center of the province, the situation is severe. At a reservoir in the county, the lake bed is fully exposed and water levels have dropped to an emergency alert level, where even with the floodgates completely open, there is barely any water left to release. 15 military water trucks had been deployed to keep the farmland supplied, and for the local farmers, every truckload makes a difference.
During my 28 years of farming, I have never experienced anything like this. Seeing the water come in gives me some comfort, and I'm so grateful.
This operation is part of a nationwide emergency response. A national fire mobilization order had been issued to dispatch emergency water supplies across the region. It was originally scheduled for 2 days until Thursday, with some 200 fire trucks from across the country sent to 14 cities and counties to deliver agricultural water. But now the order has been extended indefinitely. With the extension, the number of trucks will be reduced to 100, but water deliveries will continue in areas where agricultural water is most urgently needed based on local reservoir levels. Rain is forecast for parts of the province over the weekend, with some hope that this can relieve the dire situation and offer a lifeline for the farmers. Fire authorities say they will continue to monitor the weather before deciding when to lift the mobilization order. An Sung-jin, Arirang News.
Over in Colombia, the death toll from the country's devastating earthquake has climbed to at least 273 as the critical 72-hour rescue window passes. Search teams are still looking for survivors, but delayed access to isolated areas is hampering rescue efforts. Our Lee Seung-jae has more.
Rescue efforts are continuing in Colombia 3 days after a powerful earthquake, as the critical 72-hour window for finding survivors has now passed. Colombian authorities say at least 273 people have been killed and around 3,800 injured, while 377 remain officially listed as missing. However, a civilian-run missing person database puts the number of people unaccounted for at more than 4,200. Despite the passing of the so-called golden time, when the chances of finding survivors are believed to fall sharply, rescue teams and volunteers are still searching through collapsed buildings and piles of debris.
If someone got stuck over there, I'm going over there. Sometimes they don't let me in because I'm not from an institution. I don't have a blue cross or green or red. No, but we, the elders, have knowledge. We know what this is.
At some locations, crews have begun removing rubble, even as searches continue, raising concerns that hopes of finding more survivors alive are fading. Rescue operations have been especially difficult in isolated and hard-to-reach areas. In some communities, including areas near the port city of Buenaventura, northwest of Cali, official rescue teams did not arrive until late on Wednesday. Until then, residents were forced to search through the wreckage themselves, in some cases digging with their bare hands in hopes of finding relatives and neighbors trapped beneath the rubble. Authorities say search and recovery operations are expected to continue as the full scale of the disaster becomes clearer. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi is expected to refrain from visiting the controversial Yasukuni Shrine on Saturday, August 15th, which marks Korea's Liberation Day and Japan's wartime surrender. Kyodo and Jiji Press cited multiple sources as saying Takaichi is considering the diplomatic impact on ties with South Korea and trilateral cooperation with the United States. A visit could also provoke China amid continuing bilateral tensions. Takaichi regularly visited the shrine before becoming prime minister, but has since sent ritual offerings instead. Japan's chief cabinet secretary said last Friday that the decision was for Takaichi herself to make. Yasukuni Shrine honors some 2.5 million war dead, including 14 convicted Class A war criminals. Korea's ICT exports jumped nearly 140% year-on-year to $53.36 billion last month, setting a new record for any July. The record performance was led by demand for memory chips and AI servers, with semiconductor exports skyrocketing 178.8%. Computer and peripheral exports also leaped 353.9%. Korea logged a monthly ICT trade surplus of around $35 billion, maintaining a surplus above $30 billion for a third straight month. China remained Korea's top export destination, with over $22 billion worth of tech shipments. An American billionaire Bill Gates arrived in South Korea last night for talks with political and business leaders on next-generation nuclear energy. Gates, the founder of TerraPower and chair of the Gates Foundation, landed at Gimpo International Airport in Seoul Thursday night. During his stay, Gates is expected to discuss expanded cooperation on small modular reactors and other advanced energy technologies. He's scheduled to meet Prime Minister Han Sung-suk later today, along with business leaders including SK Group Chairman Choi Tae-won and HD Hyundai Chairman Chung Gi-sun. Gates founded TerraPower in 2006 to develop safer and more cost-effective nuclear reactors as electricity demand rises. SK Group is also a major shareholder in TerraPower. Incheon International Airport has ranked first in the world for international passenger traffic in the first half of this year. It's the first time it has held the top spot since it opened in 2001. Our Park Tae-ryung has this report.
Whether it's tourists arriving in Korea or passengers connecting to destinations overseas, more travelers are choosing Incheon International Airport.
As our connection back to the States, we're going to Dallas, and we chose Incheon because it has the best connection for us and the best time, so it was really great, and we really like the airport.
The growing flow of passengers has pushed the airport to a new milestone. Incheon International Airport handled 38.39 million international passengers in the first half of 2026, the highest figure in the world. It beat London Heathrow, which was second with 37.79 million passengers, while Singapore Changi ranked third with 34.53 million. Foreign travelers made up a growing share of passengers at Incheon International Airport. Their share rose to 39.3% in the first half of this year, up from 35.2% last year and 32.8% in 2024. The airport corporation attributed the rise in passenger numbers to the U.S.-Iran war, which disrupted transit operations at major Middle Eastern hubs, shifting some Europe-bound travel demand to Incheon.
And they recommended the flight, the Asian Airlines, and to go direct to the airport. Not more expensive, and it's more direct. So because otherwise it's very long to stop first in Dubai and then so we wanted to go direct.
The rise was also driven by growing inbound travel, particularly by visitors from China and Japan.
We chose this airport because it has many connecting flights from China, and it's the largest airport in Korea.
Incheon Airport is very convenient, and immigration and customs procedures are quick.
The airport says it plans to build on the achievement by further improving services across its operations. With more travelers passing through its terminals than ever before, the Incheon International Airport is strengthening its position as one of the world's leading aviation hubs. Park Chae-ryung, Arirang News.
In late June, a fire broke out at an orchard near Palgongsan Mountain in Daegu. Since the fire started at night, it could have quickly spread into a major forest fire. But fortunately, AI helped detect the fire almost instantly with a 24-hour CCTV monitoring system, alerting authorities before it could spread. Our Tae-young reports.
Smoke rises from an orchard late at night. The flames had reignited from ashes left behind after a farmer burned trash. But just as the fire begins to grow, the exact location is marked in red on a CCTV screen. AI instantly detected the fire and quickly alerted the Situation Room.
I received a text alert late at night, so I checked it. I saw a light that looked like a fire on the CCTV screen, so I thought an on-site inspection was necessary.
Because the alarm sounded before the fire could grow larger, firefighters were able to put it out at an early stage. AI can accurately distinguish between fog and smoke, and because it monitors the area 24/7, there are no blind spots at any time of day. In summer, it also assesses water levels in valleys and sounds an alarm when it detects risks for people taking part in water activities.
The advantage is that we can be dispatched immediately. We can respond instantly during vulnerable times, especially late at night and in the early morning.
The Korea National Park Service plans to expand the use of AI-equipped CCTVs to reduce blind spots in fire monitoring. Tae-young, Arirang News.
For residents of an island without a hospital, healthcare has to arrive by boat. Doctors and medical students travel to a small island near Incheon to provide medical care to those in need. Our Kim Sa-young has a story.
It takes about an hour by boat to reach Dokjeokdo, a small island off the coast of Incheon. This time, the island became the destination for more than 100 doctors, medical professionals, and students from Kil Medical Center and Gachon University College of Medicine. For 3 days, they are staying on the island to provide care for residents who have limited access to medical services. The gymnasium of Dokjeok High School has been temporarily turned into a clinic. Doctors specializing in internal medicine, dermatology, rehabilitation medicine, and Korean traditional medicine are treating residents and checking on their health. Dokjeokdo does not have a hospital. The island is served only by a public health center, making visits like this especially important for older residents.
I've had chest tightness and a cough since COVID-19. They gave me a checkup, and I'm grateful for that.
My legs and back hurt, so I'm very thankful they came all the way here to help us.
But this visit is not only about providing medical care. For the medical students, it is also a chance to learn what it means to serve patients outside a hospital setting. They worked alongside doctors, discussed the condition of the patients, and looked at the challenges facing regional healthcare. The experience also gave them a chance to think about how cooperation can help close gaps in medical access.
This program helps students learn cooperation before becoming medical professionals. It also helps them understand patients in a more complete way.
Over the 3-day visit, more than 300 residents received medical consultations and checkups free of charge. Organizers say the visit was not only a medical service, but also a meaningful step toward bringing care closer to communities that need it the most. Kim Seoyoung, Arirang News.
This is the world now. In the United States, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is rejecting reports of poor conditions aboard a U.S. aircraft carrier. He said on Thursday that the reports were, quote, completely misrepresented. Two military news outlets, Navy Times and Stars and Stripes, reported suicide attempts and failing morale aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. The ship carries 5,000 people and has been at sea since November 2025. It has been in the Middle East since January, supporting the U.S. war with Iran. Hegseth told reporters on Thursday that the Navy gives every crew, quote, everything it can. A U.S. official said on Thursday another carrier is already on its way to replace the Lincoln. In the United States, a federal trade court has handed President Donald Trump a rare legal win on tariffs. The U.S. Court of International Trade ruled on Thursday that Trump had the power to scrap the de minimis exemption, which lets imports worth less than $800 come in without tariffs. Trump scrapped the exemption in February 2025 for goods from China, Mexico, and Canada using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Trump on Thursday called the ruling, quote, a big win. In Hungary and Romania, record low levels on the Danube River are starving nuclear reactors of the water that cools them. Romania shut down its last working reactor on Thursday after efforts to divert cooling water fell short. Hungary is now running its Pax nuclear plant at 25% of capacity. That plant supplies around half of the country's power. Hungary's prime minister said on Wednesday the government would build a submerged dam-like structure to lift the river. 2 barges could be sunk on Friday to lift water levels. In the United States, 5 investors are suing pop star Selena Gomez over a mental health startup that collapsed last year. The lawsuit was filed on Thursday in a Delaware federal court. The investors say Gomez, as one of the co-founders, promised to use her popularity and social media following of more than 500 million people to promote the company Wondermind. The lawsuit said that the investors put $1.2 million into the company in 2022. Gomez and the startup's 2 other founders have not responded to requests for comment. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
It's Malbok today, the final day of the traditional 3 hottest days of summer. And the sweltering heat is making another push. Heat advisories are expanding to more regions, while Gangneung stays below 30 degrees Celsius again thanks to easterly winds. Then there will be sudden showers of 5 to 40 millimeters for much of Korea. So please keep an umbrella handy. And this afternoon, Seoul and Daejeon will be getting up to 33 degrees Celsius. Daegu and Gwangju will make it to 34 degrees. Meanwhile, Jeju Island will be under cloudy skies at a high of 30 degrees. Feels like temperatures will be a couple of degrees higher along with that high humidity. And for Liberation Day tomorrow, showers are expected mainly across central Korea, while rain begins in the southern regions and then spreads nationwide through Monday. Once the rain moves out, sunnier weather will return and the tropical nights that briefly eased could also return.
Now that's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.